and welcome. You're watching the morning news on CNN News 18 and I'm Shilpa Ratnam. Our top focus today, the international news that got everybody talking. Amid threats and warnings, United States House Representative Nancy Pelosi touched down at Taipei last evening. Today, she's set to meet the president of Taiwan, after which she will fly out of the island. Her visit to Taiwan has triggered a showdown between two superpowers. The Chinese government issued several warnings against Pelosi's visit to Taiwan, calling it a violation of the One China principle. China also has warned the U.S. of dire consequences as well. Meanwhile, upon her touchdown, Pelosi in her tweet said that the visit honors America's unwavering commitment to supporting Taiwan's vibrant democracy.
Member of the Armed Services Committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee, and other committees of jurisdiction in this regard. He also is a former member of the State Department. He's a diplomat, and so he's teaching us to speak more diplomatically.
那另外，如果是说这个所有的这个议题都要把它连接在一起，包括不论是安全或者外交或者经济的领域的话，那我们来自 New Jersey 的这个 Andy Kim 的议员，他就能够扮演非常重要的角色，因为他不但是这个外委会以及军委会的这个成员，那同时他之前也曾经在国务院工作，担任外交官，所以我觉得他可以教我们大家怎么样在外交礼仪及外交辞令上表现得比较出色。
In terms of, as you see, our delegation has what we call heft. They have a view of economy and security and governance. They have knowledge of the issues. They think in a strategic way about how to work together. They came here, we all did, to listen, to learn from you as to how we can go forward together.
那透过刚才的这个介绍，相信这个副院长可以了解，今天我们所来的这个访团是非常的有能力以及有分量的，不论是在这个经济安全或者是战略思考等等的议题，他们都能够分享许多宝贵的意见。那今天我们来的另外一个目的，特别重要的也是要倾听各位的意见，以及向各位有多多的学习。
In terms of governance, we commend Taiwan for being one of the freest societies in the world, for your success in addressing the COVID issue, which is a health issue, a security issue, an economic issue, and a governance issue. We congratulate you for that. And as we continue to work together, we want you to know how proud we are of Sandra. She told me just to address her as Sandra, director, and she has our confidence, and we're very proud of her leadership.
那在治理的方面，我们非常高兴知道台湾是全世界最自由的这个社会之一。那在许多的方面都有非常领先的成就，包括在这个防疫的这个疫情方面更是突出。那这个防疫不只是这个公卫的议题，同时也。
Now we're joined by my colleague Abhishek Jha with more on this. Good morning to you, Abhishek. It has been quite an exciting night that's been unfolding. China's warned of severe repercussions, and already they have intensified their military presence around the waters of Taiwan. They're responding to Pelosi's visit with war games in Taiwan waters.
Of course, Shilpa, there had been a repeated warning from Chinese side that they will do everything to stop Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan, and in fact, they did mobilize a lot of their vessels. There were aerial activity also in Taiwan's air identification zone. Also, we had learned that USA also did lift some of its fighter aircraft from Japan. So, a lot of aerial and maritime movement were going around Taiwan Strait while Nancy Pelosi was about to land in Taipei. But finally, she did land, and it was quite a visit that has happened in a very long time of 25 years since the last U.S. Congress speaker had visited Taiwan. And we know that today Nancy Pelosi has a very packed schedule. She is going to meet various senior leaders, and she's also addressing the parliament. And now they are both talking about how USA and Taiwan's relationship can be taken forward. We know that Taiwan is also a democratically elected government, and USA and Taiwan, they kind of share the same value system in terms of governance, and they do believe in freedom of expression and everything that is not there in China. So there has been a lot of tussle going on between USA and China as to whom should.
All right, now we also have our CNN News 18 managing editor Zaka Jacob, who interacting with a panel of experts on what Pelosi's visit means for Taiwan as well as China. Listener.
Not the first time a U.S. House Speaker is visiting Taiwan, but this time around there was so much drama around this, and it continues even now. Even just before coming into the studio, the Chinese Foreign Ministry putting out a very, very terse statement, taking exception to Nancy Pelosi's visit. What could likely be the outcome of this visit, in as much as do you see China stepping up on military action? Yes, rhetoric has gone through the roof, but will there be commensurate military action against Taiwan?
Well, thank you. Certainly the tensions are going up. China is, signaling its displeasure with Nancy Pelosi's visit, which, I have to remind people that this signals no change in U.S. policy. The U.S. continues to support the One China policy, be guided by the Taiwan's Relations Act. So there's really no change in policy. There were differences about whether this visit should even go forward. As you know, the president signaled that he did not think it should go forward, that the military objected to it.
I read today Newt Gingrich, who was House Speaker in 1997 and visited Taiwan, said that the Chinese told him not to go. He said, I'm going. And that was it. Now, like you said, it's a whole different situation because we have the Chinese Communist Party Congress coming up. And Xi Jinping cannot look as a weak person. And that's why we're seeing China already in the last hour announcing a huge military exercise around the coastlines of Taiwan. So the Chinese at this point, from what we're seeing at least, are going to show some kind of military force around Taiwan. But I don't think, at least for now, they will go further than that. So they're going to show they're the boss in the area. They've decided to do these exercises. There might be several more steps. We saw the U.S. administration saying yesterday that we might see China firing into the Taiwanese straits, something that was in the last time only in 1995. So at this point, what the U.S. at least was predicting that we will see some kind of military steps, but the China won't go further than that, meaning we won't see, for example, an operation against Taiwanese areas or territory.
How much mind games is going on here? And the question that everybody really wants to know is, beyond all this propaganda videos and these mind games that China is playing, will it actually cross that threshold? Will it actually cross that Rubicon of taking military action against Taiwan, which, as I understand, there's never been a full-fledged military operation that Beijing has ever undertaken against Taiwan since 1949.
Well, so this, I think, is the real question.
Andrew Liang, please. That question is to Andrew Liang. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think that the Taiwan question, of course, is an extremely important for President Xi and for Beijing in general, and indeed for the whole of the Chinese people, because the unification has always been on the minds of all the Chinese people, not only in the mainland, but throughout the Chinese diaspora. And in fact,